thank you so much for watching. I'm Pippi Peterson. So as I have mentioned in another video, I've got a problem with my closet door. I have to hold it closed with, at first I was using a belt just to stick through to kind of keep it closed, and now I'm using this guy because this door wants to pop out. Well, this isn't the classiest thing to hold your closet door closed with, and I'm just kind of getting tired of having to use it. If I don't use it, what happens is this door, see, when I close it, it's closed, but when I remove the pressure, it pops open and then it hangs out a little bit. Well, that might be acceptable, maybe, except that when this door opens just a little bit more, you see the closet light comes on. And so it always happens, as Murphy's Law, the closet light, if I don't put something to keep it closed, it'll come on like in the middle of the night, and somehow like the light coming on, it'll wake me up and I get freaked out because I'm like, what's the light on? What is that light? And so I just need to fix it. So some people recommended some ideas. They were great ideas, like putting like a what's that called, like a loop, like a hook and eye, I think, you know, something like that. However, I have a better idea. If you look at it, the door is actually bowed out, which is why this little grabber thing isn't close enough to its counterpart for the pressure of its counterpart to hold it in. So really, this thing just needs to be a little bit closer, and the bow or whatever in the door is kind of about a centimeter. So if I increased the location of this little piece about a centimeter, it might be close enough to hook in there. So that's what I'm going to do. So this little piece is just held in by 2 screws, so it's super simple to remove. Alright, now to find a piece of wood about a centimeter thick. Actually, I have the perfect thing in mind already. I have an old chair that I had at an apartment I was living in before I got my RV, and I've been kind of carrying the chair around and it's getting degraded more and more. It's just a really thin wood one, and it's falling apart, so it's pretty much not functional anymore. So there's some pieces on the back that I think are going to be the perfect size. So I'm going to check that out. So this is the back of the chair that I was thinking of using. And these pieces in here, I'm thinking might be the perfect size. If they're too small, I can either use a piece of this, or I think this is a little thinner, or I could use a piece out of this. But I'm going to go with the smaller one first, and it's about the right width, and then I can just measure for the length using this little guy that's going to go back into it. So now that I got my piece cut, remember you should always wear eye protection at least. I didn't. Shame on me. Anyway, it's always good to wear eye protection as well as ear protection. If I was going to cut more than this, or if I even just was going to do it again right now, I would probably put that stuff on. So now I'm just going to measure out, kind of put a little hole in the spot where the screws are going to go, because then I'm going to just drill a guide hole. So I'll measure that out. So I'm going to drill this, these guide holes. The drill bit I have is smaller than the screws that are going to go in. By the way, I had to get longer screws because the ones that came out were just enough to hold this in, but now I want them long enough to hold this and this in. So the guide holes are going to kind of prepare the wood so that it's so thin and really lightweight that if I just put the screw in without the guide hole, it could split the wood. So it just kind of is a little precaution. Alright, now to take this inside and hope it works. Alright, time to drill it back in. To get it started, instead of like putting a vise here to hold it in place so it's perfectly measured, I actually kind of already started it. I've got the screws going in and this little piece with them, and the screws are just coming to the end of this filler piece, so they can kind of try to find the hole, and then it'll match up hopefully a little bit easier. Alright, I think the screws are actually a little bit longer than the original screws, so that's why it had a little bit of complaining when I put it in, but it's nice and tight, so time to try it out. Crossing fingers. So, obviously, as you just saw, that didn't work, but I'm seeing that when I put this in, it's actually right at the base of these two. So, perhaps it's not getting enough grip because the door is actually lower. So I can, I guess I could either try to raise this or lower this one. Maybe that's what I'll do right now. I'm wondering why it's lower. Because all of a sudden, I thought it was possibly my jacks were not leveled, and so it was slightly twisting the base of the RV, perhaps causing different things to kind of bend a little bit. But I played with the jacks a bunch and that's not the case. So somehow one day it just started doing this, so I don't know why, but I guess I'm going to move this up a little bit. Yeah, I'll try that, because this one down here is a little bit lower as well. All right, here we go. More troubleshooting. Okay. All right, so I'm going to get the drill to put a couple more pilot holes in here. Okay, I got my holes measured where they're gonna go. Now if I can just get this perfectly straight. It's a little hard because I'm holding it with a hand, you know. Better not to hold that, but slowly at first. All right, now switching back to the screw head bit. All right, let's try this out. Got my little screws coming through. Now it's too high. Hey, it stays. The only problem is these two things on this side, they kind of hang. Instead of like being perfectly perpendicular, they hang a little bit. So to get that to stick in, I kind of have to push them up. But it works. Yeah, see, so I'm thinking if you see here, the screw goes in, but actually there's a wide range for this thing as well as up here. I could loosen these screws a little bit and push the back of this forward and maybe even the back of this one backward to kind of give it an upward tilt. Because you can kind of see it's a little bit like this right now. So I'm going to try that out. All right, that one is loosened. Okay, they're both out a little bit. So let's see if I can move this piece. Oh, yes, perfect. Okay, now I'm going to put these back in. Okay, before I screw in the bottom one, let's just see. Ha! It's gonna work! Cool. Going in. All right, satisfaction. Let's try it. Yeah! Awesome. Oh my God, that feels so good, especially because the first fix, I thought it was gonna work and then it didn't, and I was like, oh, gutted. But I'm very happy now. Yeah, this bottom one down here, it doesn't even touch its counterpart. But that's okay, because it works, it stays. It's more or less flush, and it works, yay! Thank you so much for watching. I hope that if you have a similar problem, you can find some inspiration or some ideas. Till next time, keep it simple, and be sure to subscribe for more upcoming videos. Also, you can check out my RV Living forum, where there's a lot of information. You can post questions, read answers, as well as my personal blog. And you can also get your Keep It Simple bumper sticker at pippinings.com. Thanks so much. We'll see you soon.